Funny thing is, I used mouthwash to get ready for a video. Do you promise? Oh God, okay. This is so lame and I'm alone. Do you promise not to laugh? Laugh. Good day, YouTube family. This is episode 2 of The Well of Wealth in You. Okay, cool guys, thank you so much for joining. Sorry about that. That is me. Believe it or not, that's a before and after picture of me. It shocks me every time I see it. Who's that person? That doesn't even look like me. As the video is titled, it is titled The One Scripture That Changed My Life. Guys, like if I could just give you this one scripture and nothing else in the Bible, you would be okay. You would be okay with just this one passage of scripture. The viewership we got in such a short space of time was beyond my expectations. So I really want to thank you guys and encourage you guys to keep sharing this video. This comes straight from what God has planted in my heart. So I really appreciate every single like, every single subscribe. So thank you so much. So before we get into the one scripture that changed my life forever, I think I should share a little background story about myself. So let's get into it. I have the best mom on the face of the planet. I have a mom that really genuinely loves me and would do anything to see me do well. My mom did everything she could to give us the best. And for that, I'll always be grateful and thankful to her. It took me very long to get to the point in my life when I could actually share this part of my life, this story of my life. People have said a lot of things about me that know, and I have lived a lie to those who don't know. But I think this is the perfect platform since I'm aware now what God is trying to do with my life to help everyone out there. The best thing I can do before we even go further with what we're going to be doing on this channel is to give you guys an in-depth of who I actually am. There was a time when life was so tough and we lived in Hillbrow. We would literally move like sometimes twice a month, three times a month sometimes, you know, every single other month we would be moving from place to place around Hillbrow, you know, not having everything that we needed, you know. One of the flats that we stayed in Hillbrow was like a club at the bottom, a brothel kind of sort of place. So you take women from the bottom and you go pay per day upstairs to, people would pay per day to go sleep with these women. Now us as a family, it was me and my 3 sisters at the time, that for us was home. We stayed there. What my mom would do to pay for the room and provide for us was she would sell Bibles in the street. Now, this was a time when I was in grade 1 and then there was grade 2. I was in grade 2 at the time. Now, during the period of the grade 2, my mom went through a divorce. And during this divorce, we literally lost everything. That's when we actually went to go live in these flats in Hillbrow. And my mom started to now sell Bibles in the streets. So what she would do, she'd go to shops, she'd go to people on the streets and sell Bibles. And sometimes the people would lock the room that we were in. We would have to wait for my mom to come back and pay for the room after she has sold Bibles, you know. My mom met this guy and she fell pregnant. Bear in mind, I'm in grade 2 at the time. I'm still very young. So she falls pregnant. During the end of the pregnancy, when she was about to give birth, I could see like almost every night my mom, you know, she had a lot going on in her mind, you know, and the challenge at the time was that if she has to now take care of the baby, who's going to now sell Bibles in order for us to survive, have food and pay for the room? I thought about it and I just had an answer in my spirit the very next day. I went straight to my mom and I said, Ma, you know what, you carry on selling Bibles. I will sit at home and I will take care of the baby. Now, bear in mind, this is a newborn baby and I am just a kid, you know, who is in grade 2 at the time. I said, let my sisters go to school. I will sit at home and I will take care of the baby. So my brother, who I love so much, was born. And after a few days, my mom gave him to me. He's a child, he's crying. I would also cry because I'm a child and I don't know what to do. But through God's grace, I was able to find my way, you know, how to nurse and take care of my brother. We couldn't afford diapers, so we would use cloth nappies. I learned how to put my baby brother on my back. I learned how to take care of him. And so this is what I did till about grade 7 when I was supposed to be in grade 7. My mom fell pregnant again with my other baby brother. Now, during grade 2 and this time, I have not been going to school at all. I knew what I needed to do. And for me, it was no doubt in my mind that I had to do the same thing. So I went to my mom again and I said, Ma, it's fine. Go back, sell Bibles. We need to survive. I will go and do this again. But there's one problem. I can't read. My mom took one of the Bibles that she used to sell and she told me that, take this Bible read it back to front, and by the time you get to the end, you will know how to read. I started in Genesis and I went slowly through the Bible in the beginning, trying to piece together the words, and eventually, by the time I got to the end in Revelation, I knew how to read. So now it came to the point when I was supposed to be in matric. That's now finishing off high school. And I haven't been going to school, but all I've been doing is eating and learning everything I know from the Bible. It was at this time of taking care of my 2 baby brothers and not going to school that I found this one scripture that changed my life forever. And this one scripture is Mark 11, verse 23. And the scripture says, "For verily I say unto you that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed and cast yourself into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart but believes that the things he says will happen, he will have whatsoever he says." What? Hectic. And that's the thing, guys. The way I just said that is often how we read through scripture. We just see it and read. We don't really actually, most of the time, pay attention to the context of what the scripture is actually saying. I assure you, meaning that I promise you, that whosoever tells this hill to get up, whoever says to this mountain, whoever, meaning black, white, educated, not educated, whoever says to this mountain, be removed and throw yourself into the sea. Now here are the conditions. And shall not doubt in his heart, but believe that the things he says will happen, he will have whatsoever he says. So there's, I assure you that I promise that whosoever, doesn't matter your background or where you come from, and will not doubt in his heart, will believe that he believes that it will happen, it will be done for him. Believes that the things he says will happen, he will have whatsoever he says. Then I looked at life, and when I was supposed to now go to matric and finish, I remember going to my mom and I said to her, don't even worry about the fact that I haven't seen a classroom since grade 2. Don't even worry about me. I found something in this Bible that you gave me that I really want to go put to the test. I literally threw myself into the world with nothing else but this scripture. And this scripture has changed my life forever. If we hit enough likes on this video, I would like to go deeper and give you guys a deeper understanding of what the scripture did for me and what I did with this scripture in my life to who I am today. You know, the things the Lord has done with me, the places God has taken me, the things I do right now. I got tired of telling people a lie. They'll look at me and say, wow, Jonathan, how did you do this? And I'll say to them, stay in school, don't do drugs. And that was a lie, because I never had this education, but I was so embarrassed about my story for the longest of time that I didn't want to share the truth until I really started seeing what's happening in the world today. People killing themselves because they come from a disadvantaged background. People killing themselves because they didn't pass matric. People doing things and giving up because of the current situation or what it is that they're going through. God told me that you don't just have such a story. You don't just have such a story. This story you need to use to show people that it is possible. This story you need to use to show people that they can get back up and do it again. But all they need to do is they need to believe in their heart, have faith, and know that what they say will happen and it will be done for them. We are the only creation of Christ that He breathed the same breath. Think about this. He says, let there be light, and it becomes. He makes the animals and they all live and they're all doing well. But to us, He does something different that He didn't do to the others. To us, when He created us, He breathed the same breath, which He used to say, let there be light, is the same breath He breathed into man. The very same breath that said, let there be light, is the very same breath that is in you. And then He gave us a promise in Genesis. He said that, subdue the earth, have dominion over the earth. He gave everything on this earth to us and said, you have power over it. You subdue it. That's why when the devil wanted to bring sin into the earth, he had to come and take power from a human being. Let's not even get into that. But you can do, be, and have anything that you want, because God has given you creation power to create the life that you desire. I thought I was crazy and I thought I was wrong. But over and over and over again, this scripture kept proving itself right to me. It's like when I'm right, I'm right. When I'm wrong, I could have been right. So I'm still right because I could have been wrong. But because I see it in the Bible and it's printed in here, I'm right.